I know I say this a lot, but there is genuinely so much tabletop news going on right now, so join me for Cut with the News. Up first this week we have Familiar Tales, and the reason I'm excited about this one is because it's from designer Jerry Hawthorne, the man behind Mice and Mystics and Stuffed Fables. And Familiar Tales is set to be another storybook game published by Plaid Hat Games and set to release early next year. Hawthorne is all about weaving narrative and adventure into his games. And so in this cooperative deck building adventure, 1 to 4 players will take on the roles of wizards, familiars. It's got a pun. There's a pun in the name. Familiar yeah. I'm so in on this, it's unreal. You're tasked with saving and raising a displaced princess while evil forces try to, remove her from this mortal coil. And your choices will affect her care and may determine what type of queen this princess will become. Familiar Tales will utilise an app to help run the game, and also if you watch it played, you may hear a familiar voice chirping around while players explore the pages of the gamebook, upgrading and customising each of the 4 familiars decks as you progress. This looks wonderful. The more I read about it, the more I'm getting excited about Familiar Tales, so I'm really looking forward to its release in the coming months. Another thing that excites me as much as any other warm-blooded human is, of course, adverts. And what you know, this episode just happens to be made possible, in part thanks to the Maximum Carnage set for the Versus System 2-player card game from Upper Deck. It's time to paint the town red, with bad intentions, courtesy of Carnage. Joined by a terrifying team of transgressors, this crimson caretaker of chaos brings out the dangerous dark side of the Symbiote family. But with great power comes great be careful what you're doing-ness. So watch out, or these sinister sticky symbiotes might attach themselves to your deck forever. Maximum Carnage expands the Versus System 2-player card game with 55 playable cards featuring the Deadly Doer, his cohorts and effects. And follow the link in this video's description to find it soon in Upper Deck's online store or your friendly local game shop. Splotter Spellen have announced a brand new game with Horseless Carriage, a game all about the dawn of the automobile in a time when no one really knew just yet quite what this new fandangled contraption really was or what it meant for the world, or even kind of what it would look like. But now it is your job to sell some of these automobiles. And while some of your sales may or may not have resulted in some accidents along the way, hey, that's business, buddy! And you're in this market to make some money. Splotter are known for their big, sprawling and intricate games like Food Chain Magnate and The Great Zimbabwe. They don't release a lot of titles, so a new Splotter game is a massive deal for the publisher's ardent and loyal fanbase. And Horseless Carriage seems in many ways to have just a tiny bit of its tongue in its cheek, but I'm sure we can expect a thinky and deep, heavy Euro under the hood. And pre-orders are available now, and the game is set to take to the streets next summer. Out of the big pile of announcements that AEG made this week, the 2 in particular that got me most tantalised were Wormholes and the Guild of Merchant Explorers. Wormholes is the 2nd game from Peter McPherson, the designer of one of my favourite games, Tiny Towns. But this game ain't so tiny, or so it's a wormhole. Really, the only thematic connection is that of the designer. In a peaceful galaxy, a new technology has been invented. Wormholes. What could possibly go wrong? Ask the crew of Deep Space Nine, or the entire premise behind Stargate. They allow ships to warp from one point to another, and they open up countless possibilities for commerce and travel. As the captain of a passenger spaceship newly equipped with a wormhole fabricator, I'd have called it a Holytron, you can make some serious space bucks by building a robust network of wormholes. You know, you really gotta hand it to them that they just went ahead and called the money space bucks, because let's be honest, no matter what the game is, if it's set in space, the money is gonna get called space bucks. So you might as well embrace it. Wormholes is a pick up and deliver game for 1 to 5 players and out later next year, while the Guild of Merchant Explorers is something totally different. This one is by Matthew Dunstan and Brett Gilbert and looks like a pretty grand scale flip and fill game all about making connections of cubes out onto one of 6 personal game boards with the hopes that you can establish cities before the round ends so that you can progress from that city in the next round. It looks right up my street, so I'm really looking forward to the Guild of Merchant Explorers later this year. Tenpenny Parks, coming next year from Thunderworks Games, was the next cardboard product to prod my tear ducts. Gross. But I think it may have been the Vincent Dutrait art that pulled me into this 1 to 4 player roller coaster park builder. Tenpenny Parks will be out next year and is all about building the greatest amusement park by placing workers to do actions such as removing trees, building concessions and attractions, and buying more property in order to expand and make your growing theme park as attractive as possible to visiting amusementeers. It looks great, I'm excited about it, and while I kinda hate actual theme parks, I do love the theme of theme parks. Tenpenny Parks looks to me like it's another game in their Cape May line of games, which is a game I'm really excited to play as well when I get the chance. Ice, Floes and Foes is next, coming in January from Keep Exploring Games. And in this one, and quite possibly the reason I'm excited about it, you're rescuing seals and whales from hunters and fishermen. I love any and all aquatic mammals, also penguins, which aren't aquatic mammals, of course. They're actually more closely related to a weighted blanket than other birds. In the game, 2 to 6 players will try to save these magnificent sea beasts by shoving ice floes onto the board with the aim of shoving off the fishing boats and the hunters, right off the playing area. Or maybe off the edge of the world, like in real life. Wake up, sheeple. I think this looks like a lot of fun. I'm totally up for playing Ice, Floes and Foes when I get a chance, and I'm surprised that this is the first I've heard about the game, considering it was actually kickstarted last year. Postmark Games is a brand new board game studio set up by Matthew Dunstan, who I've already mentioned is the co-designer of the Guild of Merchant Explorers, as well as a bunch of other fantastic games, along with Rory Muldoon, who designed this game, Scorer. It's great. The aim of Postmark Games is to create some fantastic print and play titles that are set to be both affordable and accessible for everyone to create at home or wherever their nearest printer is, thus making their games' impact on the environment significantly less than classic publishing. And this has been spurred on by the print and play community that's adapted and strengthened during the pandemic. The first game is called Voyages, and you'll be rolling and writing your way across the open water, and it's prepping to set sail for Kickstarter early next year. Is it just me, or does it really feels like anime and board games are having a massive collision at the moment? Every episode there's a new huge anime title being brought to cardboard, and this week is no different with the announcement by Square Enix of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, the Promised Day board game due next April. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is in the running for the most popular anime of all time. It's that type of pedigree. It's an absolutely fantastic show. It's got loads of heart and emotion, and it means something, and it's about friendship and family. Oh, it's so good, but it's like top tier anime pedigree. This new game is paired with the 20th anniversary of Full Metal Alchemist, and the players will take on iconic characters from the story as they attempt to complete the reverse transmutation circle to counter the homunculized transmutation circle, which, trust me, if you know the show, that all makes total sense. I'm buying this, aren't I? It's like they directly market these products right at me. So Square Enix and your board game designs, I've got some Final Fantasy VIII ideas I've got to run by you. And finally this week we have the latest entrance into the prestigious Toy Hall of Fame. And why yes, you should be standing right now. There were 12 finalists, but only room for 3 inductees at the Strong National Museum of Play, and they were Educational American Girl Dolls, Risk, which is the board game portion of this, which is why I felt like it made sense to add it into this episode, and whose childhood just wouldn't have been the same without the 3rd finalist, Sand. I can't argue with Sand. Number 1, it doesn't listen, it's Sand. But also, It's one of the most widely beloved playthings ever, even though I hate sand. It's the theme park of natural resources. Perhaps interesting were the runners-up, which included Battleship, Mahjong and the Settlers of Catan, but I'm sure they will all have their day in the sun. You know, like sand, and every day. I truly, like deep and in a meaningful way, hate sand. And that's it for the news this week. Thank you so much for watching. But to continue on with your Watch It Play journey, there's these videos to guide your way. And maybe I'll see you over there. So until then, take care.